Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
90 years behind bars. That's the combined maximum sentence a man and woman could face after a series of undercover drug buys throughout the south end of Fargo.
Those undercover operations took place in many areas many of us frequent too, places like Kmart and the Bowler. Valley News Team's Bradford Eric has been following this situation for us throughout the day and joins us live. Bradford?
Andrea, Mike, it's been nearly a month that Fargo police, along with various other local and federal agencies, have been setting up these undercover drug buys. We're talking the Metro Street Crimes Unit and DEA Task Force agents. Court documents outline the first buy from James Eason occurred June 20th at the Kmart on University Drive South. Undercover agents buying $250 worth of meth. 5 days later, another undercover buy. This time, agents purchasing $600 in meth at the Countryside Trailer Court, that's along 25th Street. June 27th, 2 days later, Fargo police undercover officers meet James Eason at the Bowler, buying $300 in meth. June 28th, again at the Bowler, $600 in meth is bought. And the last one, July 12th, agents agreeing with Eason to meet at the Taco Bell on University Drive South. They then moved to 18th Street South, where law enforcement made the arrests. James Eason and Shantae Turner were both arrested that day. Turner was hiding in the front seat of the car that Eason was driving that day. A search warrant for Turner's residence was conducted, officers finding still more meth. Many of these criminal charges include the fact, too, that these drug buys occurred within 1,000 feet of a child care facility or school. Both Eason and Turner have their first court date set for early August.
All right, thank you so much, Bradford. Combined, Eason and Turner also face almost $200,000 in fines if convicted.
A tip led to the arrest of a Fargo man who now faces several child pornography charges. A search warrant was done at Robert Olschlager's apartment Wednesday after the tip from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Investigators found a cell phone with multiple images of child porn. Olschlager is charged with possession of child porn, as well as being in possession of meth, marijuana, and drug paraphernalia.
A Fargo police officer and canine handler who is facing domestic assault charges is set to go to trial. Jeremiah Ferris is facing multiple charges after an incident between Ferris and his girlfriend following a canine event in Moorhead. Police were called to a domestic dispute in the 1500 block of River Drive South in Moorhead back in June. They say they found the woman with visible injuries to her arms and leg. Ferris has pleaded not guilty to 2 misdemeanor charges of domestic assault and 1 count of disorderly conduct. His trial date is set for September 12th.
Fargo police are reminding you to make sure your garage door is shut, especially at night. Last night, a string of garage burglaries happened in the 4900 block of 15th Avenue South. They say a garage door was left open in an apartment complex, and the burglar entered that garage and several other garages attached to it by kicking through the sheetrock. We can report that someone with the apartment complex said that not much was taken. A 54-year-old motorcyclist received life-threatening injuries after being hitting a deer in Becker County. Minnesota Highway Patrol reports that Charles Willett of Lake Park, Minnesota, was traveling westbound on Highway 10 near Long Lake Road around 1 this afternoon. 3 deer ran across the roadway. Willett struck one of the deer. Investigators say he was not wearing a helmet.
Temps climb this afternoon as we get started into a stretch of much warmer weather. Let's find out if Friday night will include any storms where you live. Robert?
Some of us are seeing storms as we speak, and a few more of us will see storms a little bit later on. Current temperatures, we have a mix of some 70s off towards the east, some 80s off towards the west, even close to 90 in a few locations. Winds have been strong out of the south, at times gusting over 30 miles per hour. We'll continue with southerly winds through the evening. They'll shift around to the north as we head through the day tomorrow, ushering in some slightly cooler and a drier air. Some brighter white clouds off towards the west, and that's where we've got some showers and thunderstorms. Some of those have been strong and even severe, stretching into parts of the northern valley. A closer look at those. The severe storms still to the west of our region, but some stronger storms up in the northern valley. Could see some pea to perhaps dime-size hail in some of those stronger storms. The trend will be for the storms in the northern valley to weaken, and the storms off toward the west could clip our southwestern counties in the next little while. Here in Fargo, I think we stay quiet as we head through the evening, with temperatures slowly falling through the lower 80s and into the upper 70s. We do have a chance for a few storms later on this evening. The weekend is upon us. How is the weekend forecast looking? We'll answer that question coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Robert. And make sure you have the Valley News Live Storm Team weather app so you can keep up with the weather anytime, anywhere. You'll get the latest forecasts, conditions, and also allows you to plan your day. Just search VNL Weather in the App Store and download it for free.
Authorities in Barnes County are asking for your help locating a wanted man. They're looking for 26-year-old Leandro LaRock, who is wanted for forgery. He's 5 feet 9 inches tall. He weighs 150 pounds. He has black hair and brown eyes. Officers say if you see him, do not approach him. Instead, call law enforcement. If you have any information on his whereabouts, contact the Barnes County Sheriff's Office.
It's Friday and time to take a look at this week's Valley's Most Wanted. Fargo police say Ali Hashi is wanted for felony theft charges. You can call your local law enforcement if you have any information on Hashi. To date, the Valley's Most Wanted program has helped police make more than 580 arrests.
A couple from Osage, Minnesota is facing charges for allegedly filing false tax returns. Investigators say Michael and Marie Wells filed false income tax returns for tax years 2010 through 2014. Michael Wells is also accused of failing to file sales tax returns and failed to remit sales tax collected from customers by his business, Northern Generator Service, over a 5-year span. Each tax-related felony carries a maximum penalty of 5 years in prison, a $10,000 fine, or both.
U.S. North Dakota Senator John Hoeven says he needs more time to evaluate a revamped Republican health care bill. The reworked bill, pushed by Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, seeks conservative support by letting insurers sell low-premium policies with skimpy coverage. Hoeven says he wants to see the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office's evaluation of the bill before he decides. That's expected next week. Hoeven and a few other undecided senators who had opposed the first version of the bill met with McConnell yesterday. The lawmakers wanted details and numbers on how the bill would affect rural and Medicaid-dependent populations in their states.
There's a way for you to help out a Detroit Lakes veteran who's being forced out of his rental property. We first told you about Brian Frazier yesterday. He served in Vietnam, underwent a liver transplant last November. Valley News Live's investigation found that Frazier's situation seems to stem from a neighbor dispute. The adjoining property's landlord and Frazier have not gotten along for years. Inspectors say that the property violates the city's rental property ordinance and is not up to code. Now, a GoFundMe campaign has been set up to help Frazier, and so far it has raised $420. If you'd like to help out, we have a link attached to this story on our website on valleynewslive.com.
A huge shot in the arm for hospice of the Red River Valley. Today, Choice Financial added to hospice's checkbook by donating more than $133,000. They raised the money through their Go Hawaiian for Hospice lunch. That happened last month. It's the 5th year Choice Financial has hosted this luau-style feast, and hospice officials say this money will go a long way toward helping them help the 300 patients they serve every day. Hospice serves 29 counties in North Dakota and Minnesota.
Donating to the YWCA is easier. There are about 20 bins scattered throughout Fargo, Moorhead, and West Fargo, where you drop off your used clothing, household items, books, and more. A YWCA spokesperson says giving to them is so important, the shelter can exchange some of the extra items at a local thrift store for shopping vouchers, which continue to help abused and homeless women. For more information as to how you can donate, head to our website, valleynewslive.com.
Construction is underway on new digs for NDSU students. Later on Valley News Live at 6, what you should expect to see once work is complete.
Some showers and storms roaming through parts of the valley, but it looks like better weather as we head through your weekend. A look at that weekend forecast coming up.